Today we have a PowerPoint presentation. Your presenter is of course Germlani, because this is my channel and there's no one else here, of course. You all know this already. Magic the tutorial. How to get into Magic the Gathering. Well, first of all, when you get into Magic the Gathering, the first choice you have to make. It's a big one. Magic the Gathering Arena or playing with actual cards. Of course, because obviously getting something for one of them doesn't help you with the other one. And today we'll Magic the Gathering Arena or actual cards. Oh no, that's the wrong cards. You did not see anything, boys. Actual cards. So these are the options. Arena has some pros and cons, which I forgot to animate for you guys. You're welcome. Pros, it's of course more free-to-play friendly than many other card games. Hearthstone is quite infamous for being absolute dog shit for free players. Obviously, compared to like paper Magic, it's not as affected by the Heineken virus as the paper one is, because obviously that is quite heavily affected. Like IRL events don't really happen at the moment. Also in the pros is the fact that it's an online Magic the Gathering game that's not Magic the Gathering Online. It does have some cons though. It has a smaller card pool than the paper one. It has less and worse formats. It does not have Commander. Which might seem like a weird thing to focus on, but the fact is that currently Commander is the single most popular format in the whole game. And Magic the Gathering Arena does not give you the option of playing the most popular format in the game. It's absolutely absurd, dude. Also, if you do want to spend some money on MTG Arena is not for you. The actual like stuff you can buy in game for real money. Just the amount of money you have to spend to get any real bonuses is completely absurd. I mean, yeah, sure, if you just want to buy the battle pass, that's fine. But also, people could just quite easily grind for that as well. You're really just winning a couple of packs there. So yeah, pay to play content is for people way more wealthier than you, but they will benefit from it a lot as well. And of course, MTG Arena does still require a lot of grinding for free-to-play players, even if it's somewhat more friendly than Hearthstone. In some ways, I guess Hearthstone quests being the only way to earn money. I guess they aren't the only way anymore, but back when that was the case, obviously you didn't have to spend as much time on the game, you just had to waste more days. Or play it on more days. Now, paper Magic, of course, pros, the cards are investments. If one day you just decide you don't actually like the game anymore, you can sell your cards and make a lot of money back. Sometimes you might even make more than you originally put into the game. It's an actual tabletop experience. You actually get to play it with your friends face to face, which is something that Magic the Gathering Arena doesn't really offer. Of course, as mentioned before in the MTG Arena stuff, Commander, Cube, and many other formats. So obviously Commander being the most popular format, then Cube. I guess there is a Cube in the game, but of course your own cube or your friend's cube. And then just like those flavor of the month formats as well, they're sometimes fun, as well as the more permanent ones like Legacy, Vintage if you're a millionaire, and Modern as well. And then playing Cube is for free, so there is a limited format that you can play for free. Obviously building a cube is not free, it usually costs a lot of money. But once you have built the cube, you can always play it freely. There's no additional costs. The same is not true for something like the MTG Arena Cube. You will have to spend tons of money on let's face it, a horrible cube. It's diggity dog, dude. And it costs a lot, and the rewards do not make up for it. Whereas normal drafting is actually a great way to earn gems. There's no point in playing the cube other than to just actually wanting to play cube. And of course, Paper Magic does have a sense of community that does not come with online games. Oh. And of course, there's the fact that you're, and then the most important pro perhaps, is the fact that you're supporting your local game shop. Supporting local small businesses is always a good thing, whereas giving money straight to Voci through something like MTG Arena, not as great. Now, Paper Magic does have quite a few issues, and these aren't even all of them, but we'll go through these, then I'll list a couple more. I'll list a couple more I forgot to include here, or I couldn't fit into this time. Well, the cards are investments, so the price of some cards can go up, meaning that one card you really wanted, that one pet card, might just turn out to be way too expensive for you. Like the case with Gaia's Cradle. Of course, it used to cost like, I don't know, like $60, and now it's an obscurely pricey card. But I think it's only played in Commander as well, so it's kind of weird. I think it might be played somewhere else as well, but I'm not sure. But the huge spike in prices definitely coincides with popularity of Commander, so yeah. And yeah, as I said, many formats are too expensive for most players, like Modern, Legacy, Vintage especially. Vintage is the worst of them all. And Standard, even though it seems like it should be cheap, actually Papered Standard is gonna cost you a lot of money, because you have to keep buying new cards always. Then there's the fact that, where I actually did include as a pro, the fact that you get to experience a fun tabletop experience with your friends. The issue is that you first have to find those friends. You have to find a play group. Trying to convince your friends to play Magic the Gathering is borderline impossible. I've tried this, hasn't gone well. Of course, cons, social interaction. You actually have to interact with people. Horrible, I know. That's just how Paper Magic and all tabletop games actually work. Of course, one major one, of course, is the fact that we kind of had this as a pro in the Magic the Gathering arena. Here it's a con. Of course, Paper Magic is severely affected by the Heineken virus once again, because a lot of events are cancelled and so on, which kind of sucks, to be honest, but there is nothing that can be done about it. Obviously, people's health and safety is much more important than a stupid cardboard game for children. But it is still a con that only affects the Paper Magic and not Magic the Gathering Arena. Of course, one of the bigger ones, even bigger than the previous one, because the thing is that eventually the Heineken pandemic will end. But what will not end is the fact that Secret Lair Walking Dead exists. That's a permanent fact. And that's gonna haunt you in every single Commander play group you're ever gonna be a part of. You just have to do some extra recon before joining a new play group, just to make sure that your opponent isn't going to play Rick from Walking Dead in a Magic the Gathering game. Obviously, I have no problems with stuff like the Godzilla cross-IP stuff, because cross-IP isn't necessarily bad. It's bad only when you're forcing people into it, especially when it's with a limited run item such as the Secret Lairs. In fact, Secret Lairs altogether seem to be a bit worrisome, especially since Voci might keep going with the actually unique cards from Secret Lairs. And while I did mention that many of the formats, about how many Flavor of the Month formats there are and stuff, the fact is that most of them are dead. It's not like anyone actually plays Tabletop Brawl or Tiny Leaders or whatever it was at one point. So I mean, there are a lot of good formats that people do play. So I mean, there is still a lot more options than in Magic the Gathering Arena. But at the same time, a lot of the formats don't just exist anymore or have kind of died. Ooh, and then there's the big one. I did mention that playing a cube is free once you have a cube. That being said, people's cubes tend to cost quite a bit of money, which means that you can't just play with anyone with your cube, because obviously the cards hold value, meaning people can steal them. So cube definitely does require you to find a play group of people you trust, and it's not like a couple of people you trust, you need 6 or 8, which is kind of rough. Of course, as I mentioned the theft in the context of cube, but it exists outside as well. People do steal stuff at events from modern decks, standard decks, and so on and so on. And we kind of covered this already, but still, the absurd prices for cardboard rectangles. There is some absurdity to it. But that's not all. There's also other issues with paper Magic as well, like the decrease in printing quality. I wonder if I have a foil card nearby. I can show you something really annoying. I guess this isn't a bad one, but it kind of still has the same issue. Sure, if you can see this is straight from a pack, immediately sleeved after the pack. It was inserted in the pack. I wonder if this shows. So as you can see, this is pretty far from a straight card. Especially the foils, the printing quality and the quality of the product is just actual dog shit, dude. Obviously you can kind of flatten them out, but there are many other printing errors you can't get rid of, and they're gonna permanently decrease the value of your cards. Luckily the foil curling doesn't actually affect anything, you can just straighten them out, but still, the fact that the printing has gone downhill from the early days of the franchise instead of getting better is just completely absurd, dude. Like with Pokemon, you kind of worry about, oh Jesus, we didn't... I just realized that the whole time it hasn't shown the full dias here. Oh well. So yeah, I mean, just especially when they are investments, the fact that they might have bad printing quality, they might be damaged in the packs and stuff, kind of does matter. Of course, also the fact that cracking packs is fun, but it's obviously not an investment, you're just throwing money away at that point. Okay, so you might now have heard a lot of cons about both of these things. You might be thinking, if Magic the Gathering Arena is this bad, but Paper Magic also has this many issues, shouldn't I just play Magic the Gathering online? Shouldn't I? Should I just play Magic the Gathering online instead? No. Next dia. Now what do you need to start playing? Loads of cash money dollar bills, of course. MTGA allows free to play, and funny thing is that the €20 Commander precons are playable, like the ones that come up with most new sets. That being said, the ones for Commander Legends, ironically enough, were kind of bad. But the Zendikar ones were worth back then, and so are the new ones. And yeah, I mean, it might sound stupid because most of the pre-con stuff from Magic is kind of shit, but yeah, I guess the Commander ones actually kind of do work. You can just pick one up and play it with your friends. And there are some upgrades you can make for a reasonable price as well. Other than that, every single format is gonna cost you tons of money if you're playing Paper Magic. Then there is of course the patience and willingness to admit you're wrong about the rules. and actually just like kind of making up rules as you go, because the fact is that you won't have a judge next to you always, and the fact is that you will never learn the full rule book of Magic the Gathering. I can promise it to you right now. Most judges don't know the full rule book. They actually have to open it up and go through it to ask some specific interaction related questions. Yeah. Oh, and then there is the one thing that we need more than anything to start playing Magic the Gathering. A low IQ. You have to be dumb to start playing this stupid game, dude. There is no way an intelligent person just goes out of their way to start playing Magic the Gathering. Like, if you want to get rid of your money, just donate to charity or something. Subscribe to Germolani. That's basically the same thing. You're just throwing away money. Like you would be throwing away money by subscribing to this channel. Except if you have Amazon Prime, in which case you can always Prime sub to my channel. Okay, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah. So you might ask the question, well, if it has this many issues, the game doesn't have a single good platform, why do people even play it? Surely I have to be leaving out something, because if what I was saying was true, then surely no one would play the game. Yeah, in conclusion, play something else, bro. Well, you might think so, but there's something you forgot. Something very important you forgot. You might be thinking, well, why would people then play Magic the Gathering if I'm not lying here, if I'm not exaggerating? And here we have an article from behavioraleconomics.com about the sunk cost fallacy. That's why people play.